Hey everybody, welcome back. Today my special guest is Kathy Casey. She's the CEO of PureK Holdings Corp, trading on the TSX Venture under symbol PKAN. Kathy, welcome.
Oh, thanks, James. It's great to spend some time with you today.
Yeah, Kathy, it's great to finally meet you. I have to disclose that I'm a shareholder in the company from one of the companies that PKAN acquired. Can we start with an overview of PKAN's business, please?
Yeah, for sure. So we went public back in early December. Originally, James founded as primarily a CBD company with a major brand called PureKana. It was recognized as one of the top 10 brands in the CBD space earlier last year. So if you think of version 1.0 as a CBD company with PureKana, and then we've actually done 3 acquisitions over the last 4 months. So it's very important to us that not only that we grow the online business, call it the brick and mortar business, but then these acquisitions get us into some additional categories. So we bought a pet company a couple of months ago in the Buddha Pets brand, because we think there's opportunity and growth in pet with and without CBD. We bought a skincare company that you're familiar with, No BS Skincare. That right now does not have CBD in it, but we'll be adding some CBD to it. And then we actually are getting ready to close another acquisition called TrueBar or True Brands. All of them women-run and women-led businesses that we've added to the portfolio. So very, very excited about the growth potential and the synergies of those.
Wow, cool. I had no idea. And so are these are your operations and products for sale in multiple states in
Yeah, great question. PureKana originally was an online. It was built direct to consumer, and now we're available offline as well. You'll see us in locations like some of the Ahold banners, Rite Aid banners, a variety of regional and independent chains like CBD Emporium across the United States. No BS has primarily been built online. The easiest way to find it would be actually on Amazon. We have a huge presence as a skincare brand on Amazon. And then TrueBar, big presence here in many, many retailers here in the US and actually in Canada.
Is PureKana Holdings a profitable cannabis company at this point?
Yes, it is. It's actually one of the things that differentiates us. If you think of a couple other big players in the space, some other big publicly traded companies like a cbdMD or a Charlotte's Web, large CBD players, candidly, I respect those companies. I have friends that work for those companies, but they lose money every quarter. And one of the things that's different actually about PKAN is that we actually make money every quarter. So we've chosen to have a very, I would call it a variable cost model that enables us to make decisions to keep the company in the black.
And profitable and cannabis company are almost unheard of.
So, yes, oxymoron, yeah, exactly. For sure.
It's great to hear that. Yeah. Okay, so what's going to drive investors in the immediate term and then in the longer term? Where's your biggest expansion? Where do you see revenue sort of amping up?
Yeah, we have really 4, if you will, 4 strategic pillars around the business. One is to continue to grow our online platform, which is the bread and butter, very profitable component of the business. My background actually is 10 years at Procter Gamble and 20 years at Kellogg. So it's to use that CPG experience and then take the brand out into other, call it non-direct consumer, but into brick and mortar retail. And we've been on that journey now for about a year. The third growth platform is the one we chatted about, which is entering into these subcategories. Pet is on fire, beauty is on fire, both here in the United States. And then the last one is actually global expansion, James. So we just completed our Novel Foods agreement. So we'll be entering into the UK. We'll be entering into Canada, and then also have a big presence afoot going into Latin America. So think of online, offline, category expansion, and global expansion.
Right. Wow. So looking at landscape in the United States, the Biden administration came to power at least on a promise to regularize rules, both medically and recreationally, on a national basis, and hasn't followed through with that. Is that still something that you're looking forward to, and you think that'll have a big effect on your future profitability?
We do. I'm very excited about, I joined, if you will, PKAN a little over a year ago Before that, we actually had a different company that we rolled PKAN out of called Heavenly RX. Just to think about in the last year and a half how much the momentum on cannabis has changed. And I would say not just CBD and medical marijuana, but recreational marijuana. I mean, most Americans versus less Americans believe that marijuana should be federally legal. They're going to continue to give that feedback up to their legislators. I see the market both recreationally, medically, and CBD-wise continue to have very explosive growth. And I believe that legislatively and regulatorily, that's definitely a tailwind for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my associate at CB1 Capital, Todd Harrison, says, you don't really need to you don't need to hang your hat on further legislation because the state momentum around the U.S. is growing the market, and so
Yes.
makes that as his case for buying U.S. multi-state opposed to, for example, Canadian exclusive operators, because in Canada, it's making money in the cannabis business is almost a laughable proposition with all of the black market doing so well here. It's the self-growing that happens here. So even if there was no other movement towards national legalization by the Biden administration, you're still pretty crazy growth across all of the states and growth of new states adopting marijuana laws, New York. So is that going to drive the fire for a long time yet while the administration figures out what it's?
Yeah, we believe it will. I mean, I don't think anybody would have predicted, a year ago what we're seeing happening in New York, right? One of the largest markets in the world in terms of population, now advancing their agenda as it relates to cannabis and marijuana. I think the other thing that's going to drive it is not only, the momentum of the states, agnostic of what happens federally, but we're seeing such innovation in the category, James, right? So there's so much innovation around cultivation and different versions of marijuana. There's 113 cannabinoids, and CBD is just one of them. So we're now adding, like other companies, it's not unique to PureKana, but when we want to help with sleep, we're adding in CBN. When we want to help with anti-inflammatory or absorption, we're adding in CBG. And then we're surrounding in some of our products other incredible natural ingredients like melatonin and ashwagandha and ginseng to put together this cocktail that has a better efficacy and continue to manage big need states that people have around anxiety and pain and sleep.
Yeah, for sure. My medicine chest is more full than most Canadians of CBD related or CBD infused products because I get samples from all across the world. And I use it every day. I ingest 50 per day just because it levels me out, gives me better focus, fantastic sleep, gastrointestinal harmony. It's just, I laugh when I see the media question the science behind CBD and say it's all just a rumor. It's like, the reason it hasn't been, there to back it up because they've been too busy promoting things like oxycodone and drugs like that are better according to the medical community. So, it's just a matter of time till the science and research that has been suppressed catches up once it's been allowed to do its thing. So I'm not worried about that. Do you find that the CBD revolution that's kind of sweeping the nutraceutical space is gaining despite the criticism from the scientific community? Or do you find that the scientific community's sort of cautionary language is having a diminishing effect on CBD sales?
Yeah, good question. The thing that actually, in fairness, the thing that's hurt the CBD category, if you look a little bit over the last year, has actually not really been science, but it's been the pandemic, right? Where so many people were not only finding CBD online, but they were also going to a Fresh Time or going to a Whole Foods and finding access to the CBD in the brick and mortar. So what we're seeing broadly in the category, James, the online business, like so many other brands and categories, is actually on fire. We'll continue to see people migrate to buy online, but the sales have been hurt as stores have been closed or traffic has been down with the stores. So at this point, it's less about science. I actually think all the news around THC and medical marijuana actually is helping us because it's driving more and more awareness to what we call plant-based wellness within the category. I think that again is a tailwind for us. And it makes folks, I think, challenge some of their thinking about cannabis in total, about how it can make a difference in their lives. The main reason, candidly, that I came here is similar to you. I was working in corporate America. I started learning more and more about cannabinoids and particularly CBD. And if it can get one person off an opioid because they can manage their lower back pain in a different way that's sustainable for them, then we're making a difference. And I think that's incredibly rewarding.
We're going to leave it there for now. I really appreciate your time today, and I'm going to come back to you soon and see how you're making out. Thanks very much for joining me.
Sounds great. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend.